Hello everyone. Today we're going to create a swap on the base chain with the 0xGasless SDK. It's an account abstraction SDK that will allow us to implement a gasless swap, meaning the user of the swap doesn't have to pay any gas fees. They just come in, deposit their tokens, and swap it for other tokens without having any gas in their smart wallets. 0xGasless uses ERC 4337 standard for the account abstraction implementation. Let's get started. We'll start by going to the dashboard and creating a paymaster. I have a bunch of paymasters created already. Let's try creating one more. We'll name it simply Base Swap Demo. We'll select Base. We'll wait for the paymaster to get created. It's right here. So as you can see, it created an API key and the paymaster URL for us. Let's try funding it with some ETH. Now I'm only depositing 30 cents because gas on Base is cheap, but you can deposit any amount. I'll click on Deposit, Confirm. This is the deposit that gets into the paymaster for your dApp to get sponsored for the transactions. This is usually done by the dApp authors and developers themselves. Alright, now that we have our paymaster URL, let's try using it. So now we are here at the code. As you can see, we have created a simple Next app that has swap implemented in it. Here is the env file that we will fill in with our paymaster URL that we just created. Now it also requires a bundler URL that you can find on the bundler page on the dashboard. This is simply the bundler URL. Now since we are doing it on Base, the chain ID will be 8453. That's the chain ID for Base. And so you can also see it here in the paymaster URL. Now that we have the required variables set in the env, we'll start by looking at the code itself. The code is very simple as the SDK abstracts away all the difficulties. We just need this one function to create the Smart Account Client. This Smart Account Client will be used to send gasless transactions to our bundler. The Send Gasless function uses the Smart Account object that we created earlier with this function and calls the Send Transaction method on it, simply passing the transaction and the paymaster mode as sponsored. It will create a gasless transaction of anything. So let's try looking at how it works. So we have the swap that is running on our local host. It is funded with some USDC, and this is the smart wallet that is actually deployed on the Base chain. Let's start looking at it. So here we see that this address has some tokens in it, and it's actually a contract, but this is instead a smart wallet. Now let's try swapping some USDC for DAI. We'll fill in a fresh amount, work account review trade, we'll wait for it to process. MetaMask pops up. It asks us to sign the transaction, wait for it to finish, and that's it. Done. We have implemented a gasless swap. The smart account has no gas in it. And that is how we can use the 0xGas SDK to implement a gasless dApp.